Pretty freaking cool.
That car was so good.
It's actually in really good shape. What car that is right there? Oh yeah, it's quite a bit. Thing's absolutely gorgeous.
You haven't even gone down here yet.
Of course, you guys know my favorite car here is ours. 1979 Chrysler 300.
There he is.
The best thing is it's next to a new Dodge Charger Daytona, and I will be picking one of these up here probably in the next couple weeks. Yeah, it's on Woodward. It's in Birmingham, Michigan.
How many miles?
We are on, I don't know if you guys can hear me that good because of the wind. This is Woodward Avenue here. So this is Birmingham. That would be 14 Mile and Woodward Avenue. This is Birmingham, Michigan. This is Pasteiner. This is the auto hobby shop. And they have a cars and coffee every Saturday. And of course, Mopar 10 that just pulled, or not, yeah, Mopar 10 just pulled in. Beautiful car. I always love that car. Ford Galaxy. Nice Chevy too. So the Mopar 10 is one of my favorite limited edition cars. This was the first Mopar car to actually kick it off for the limited edition series. You could get the Mopar Blue Stripe, you could get silver, or you could get red. And of course, Mopar Blue was the most popular one. Of course, we got the OBS, Corvettes, a couple Corvettes. And of course, a Lamborghini Diablo. And do you know who actually was in charge of Lamborghini at the time this car was built and helped design it? See who can answer it in the comments below. Do you guys know? So this was at the time that Chrysler actually owned Lamborghini. And the Auburn Hills Design Studio actually helped design this car. Tom Gale actually helped design it. Yep. Lee Iacocca bought Lamborghini in the 80s, late 80s, and they actually helped bring this car to formation. Go up and check it out. The thing about Michigan is you see the most random cars because not only do we have the big three, but this is the capital of basically the automotive market. So you get things from Porsches sitting next to Corvairs. You got a whole bunch of different stuff here. A base model Valiant four-door that's in really good shape. MG. Model A. What's really cool about this is look at the phone in the back.
I built the first batch of Model A.
Maserati. Beautiful car. And of course, an Austin Healey.
What do you got about?
I'll take you guys into the hobby shop real quick so you guys can kind of see this place. This place is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that didn't sell.
Plymouth Soprano Spider. There's a whole bunch of miscellaneous stuff in here.
Go for more. This is B12 cattle. That used to be $200,000. I can't work my way through the best. Thank you. Appreciate it, sir. So you're in a house in downtown. Yes, see that? Hey, we have a new member at the auction. I still have them.
Sneak past real quick.
Yeah, he bends over backwards for you.
That's what, you know, that
Farmer Jack, remember Farmer Jack?
No, that's what Lenny said. Bend over backwards. That's what I'm in.
Not yet, I don't. Tell me when you're in. Cover me up when you're done with that.
I was going through these earlier. Probably gonna pick that one up. There's tons and tons of stuff here.
Oh, you know.
You see anything good, Dominic?
I mean, that's pretty cool that they made all of these out of paper.
Yeah, they got Firebird 1 up there, and there's Bob Lutz in the back.
Also right there.
Yeah, it's Bob Lutz.
Yeah.
You see any McLarens at all?
No. Let's see, one card looks like it's cannabis.
And tons of books.
I'm lucky I'm with you old guys. Name everyone, the owner, what you got, right? Now, you want to be
So just a little gathering, but this happens every Saturday. No matter if it's rain or shine, this goes on. And we just got a Viper that pulled up in ceramic blue. We'll go take a look at that real quick. The Mopar 10 was such a cool looking car. I also love the Mopar center caps. Ceramic blue GTC. Absolutely gorgeous car. 5th gen looks really good in ceramic blue. You guys might remember this color from like the Chrysler 300. Here, watch yourself. Here, you want to hold that for a second? I'm going to take a couple pictures on these cars real quick.
All right.
Just go and walk around with it.
All right. Okay.
Tablet went viral for falling off a truck while in transport. I just bought that. Oh, it said
It's a vehicle.
Hey, man. There you go.
So you get the most random stuff. You get a Ford Taurus Police Interceptor next to a Porsche. Lambo, yep. Diablo. This car sounds awesome. V12. Super sharp. So yeah, if you're in the Metro Detroit area, this little Cars and Coffee event happens basically, every Saturday, no matter if it's rain or shine. It's located at 14 Mile in Woodward. And everybody's welcome. Doesn't matter what you drive. But you get a lot of cool stuff here. Sometimes there's like usually McLarens and stuff. Thing is, today, M1 Concourse down the road here is having their Cars and Coffee event, and it's hot rods and customs. We were debating on going, but I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on. But I figured this is like right by our house, so not too far. And again, we brought the 300. Of course, there's our ride. 1979 Chrysler 300. Next to a 2024 Dodge Charger Daytona. All right, how many people hate the Charger Daytona? I want to know. The reason why I say it is because you might see one on the channel very quickly. So Dominic, you want to go for a ride?
Sure.
All right. Why don't you get in the passenger seat? I'll have you buckle up, and then I will hand you the phone, and you guys want to take a lap down Woodward real quick? I gotta take my camera off. We'll take a lap down Woodward. We got the car out. The weather's kind of cold here. Dominic, hold it. You can face it out the window a little bit.
Like this?
Well, not that.
This? All right.
Hold on a second, guys. I gotta get the keys on it. Welcome to old car life. All right. It's not a caddy, man. It's a 1979 Chrysler 300. This is one of the rarest 70s cars that you can buy. This is basically a Chrysler Cordoba, but it was badged as a 300. This car was basically in today's terms, it was a $9,000 option on the Cordoba. This was a limited edition car. This one's one of 200. It's got T-tops. You can just show them, Dominic. It's got T-tops in it. Hold on, come on, baby.
All right, here we go.
So this was actually the fastest car you could buy in 1979 in the United States. So this one's got 46,000 original miles. We just picked it up last year. It's got cassette player. We have an 8-track in the back, actually. But yeah, all original. There's a couple things with it, but other than that, it's basically completely stock. Probably one of the best cleanest 1979 Chrysler 300 you'll probably ever see. So, but yes, T-top car. They only built 200 of them. It's a pretty rare car. So,
Yeah, sorry.
and if you know me, I had a 2023 Chrysler 300C, and I'll tell you what, that 300C, a lot of people who knew what it was, it got a lot of attention, but never as much attention as this thing. You could probably see that there was a gentleman who would literally stand there by my window while I was starting up, and I think he wanted to talk, but we're going to get out of here and go for a little cruise.
Hey, someone's bringing up the Trans Am 400.
The Trans Am 400?
Yeah.
Yeah. How much horsepower did the Trans Am have?
I don't remember.
At 400.
Oh.
No, I'm saying this one had 195. This is actually an E58. So this is a 360 4-barrel engine. This is the same engine that they had in Little Red Express. However, because it's not a truck, they did have to put a lean burn system on it. This one still has the factory lean burn. And with lean burn, a lot of people complain about it. I didn't, like when we got this car, I was like, that's the first thing we're gonna do is take this thing off, the lean burn system. But the honest to God's truth is, as you're driving along, it actually, the computer kind of like realizes your driving style, and the more you drive, the better it gets. So if you're driving like short distances, it kind of drives like crap, but this was the smallest car that you could get as a Chrysler in 1979. So this is a B-body car. This is the same platform that underpins the 69 Dodge Charger, the Roadrunner. Kind of keep it up a little bit so people can kind of see the woodwork.
Sorry.
Anyways, you know, it basically underpinned cars from 1962 to 63 to 1979. This was the very last year of the B-body. And this thing, like I said, was the smallest Chrysler vehicle at that point. And in today's standards, is considered a full-size car. It's bigger than that Charger Daytona, but this was an intermediate car back in 1979. So, but it drives super nice, super smooth. We'll take a ride up Woodward and go up to Cranbrook and go through Cranbrook and come back. But yeah, overall this car is just a beautiful boulevard cruiser. Absolutely love the way it drives. You can drive it with one finger. But a lot of people don't know, Little Red Express had an E58 engine. And what Little Red Express, what was different was they didn't have the lean burn system in it. And because it was considered a truck, it didn't have to have the emission stuff like this thing does. So it made a little more horsepower. And that was technically the fastest vehicle you could get in 1979.
What's the difference between this and the Magnum?
Well, the Magnum was a Dodge. The Magnum actually, it's funny because in 1975, the Cordoba came out and the Dodge Charger made its debut. And the Charger had, it's funny, if you really do your research, if you look at the 1975 Dodge Charger, it actually came as two different looks. You could get the Charger, like what they call Sport, and the Sport actually had the front end of a Cornet. It didn't look like the Cordoba at all, but if you got the normal Charger, it would look like a Cordoba. Well, what happened was Dodge was in NASCAR racing. Richard Petty, you know, was driving a Dodge at the time, but the problem was the Charger was not competitive. It actually pushed really bad, and the aerodynamics were terrible on it. So just kind of like what they did for, you know, the wing cars and stuff, they needed to go to a more aerodynamic car. So the Magnum, what they did with the Chargers, they got rid of the Charger name and made the Magnum. The Magnum actually has a sleeker front end than this. It's almost identical in the interior. So like if you get the XE, which is like the luxury model, that has pretty much the same kind of gauges, same layout as this car. However, if you, here, hold it for a second. If you get the Magnum, you got a more sleek front end, a little bit different deck lid and tail lamps, but it was pretty much the same car. You could get it with the same engine, the E58, but the 300 was tuned just a little different. But pretty much same exact car, just Dodge badging. So it's funny because, you know, I never really liked the 70s cars at all that much. I was more of a muscle car guy, but I'm 40 years old now, and my Cordoba, he found this, and the funny thing is, like, I always liked the Cordova. I always thought it was cool. But now that I'm older, I kind of am getting into the 70s cars, mainly because we're seeing like a huge renaissance of the 70s cars from Chrysler. Yeah, they have all the emission stuff. They're not that powerful in that. But the thing is the late 60s, early 70s B bodies and E bodies have become so expensive that it's really, really hard to purchase one. And these cars, you can go buy one like this, 10, 12 grand. It's in really good shape with low miles, and it's a great boulevard cruiser. If you're not looking for like a, if you're not going to race it or anything, I mean, technically you could do the same stuff with this that you could do a Charger, but like the way that this car sits, it's a boulevard cruiser. So, I mean, it just drives really nice. Like Woodward Avenue is the perfect setting for this car. Like absolutely perfect. And you can see, just like a typical 70s car, up on the hood. Dominic, you want to show over on the left side? Like, over on the hood. Over there.
Yeah.
Like the blinkers. The turn indicators are up on the hood. It's a cool car. It's got a lot of cool style to it. And I think a lot more people that are, younger are getting into the 70s cars just because of their style and the comfort and stuff. It's a totally kind of different era than the muscle car era was. Instead of having high horsepower, you went to kind of an era where it was all about, comfort and luxury. But this was like the ultimate sporty Chrysler for 1979. And this is the only year that the 300 was available on the Cordova. So there's a couple websites that say different things. Some say there's 2,800 of these built. Well, some numbers say 3,811. Now the car only came in Spinnaker white, unless you lived in Canada. They built a limited edition for Canada, but those were red, and all of them have, except for the Canadian ones, because you can't really tell, but they all have red and blue pinstriping to kind of coat colors of the 300. But there was only 200 T-top cars, and this is one of them. There's not many T-top cars left, and that's what makes this one so not just rare, but the fact that it's desirable. A T-top car just like this that had a lot more miles on it went across the was it Bear Jackson or Meekum? I think it was Meekum last year and got about $29,000. So I always love this road. There's a lot of like dips and curves and stuff. If you guys were watching my my drive impressions of the Charger Daytona when I drove the electric Dodge Charger, this is where I took it. Absolutely love this road. This is Cranbrook. This is like a really fancy college, or school, I should say, like a high school, not a college, for like very smart people. But the campus here is absolutely gorgeous. Especially on days like today, because there's not a lot of people driving it. What was the last comment there?
This is a Cordova.
Huh?
Or is that a Cordova? I don't know.
Nope, it's a Chrysler 300. It's based on the Cordova.
Yeah.
It's a package. It was a limited edition package for the Cordova. So
Like the houses around here.
Yeah, these are school buildings here. Like look at the trees and stuff. It looks absolutely gorgeous here. Like look at the building here coming up here. So this is part of Cranbrook. Like I love the architecture around here. This is just a fun place to cruise.
Yeah.
And this is right off of Woodward. A lot of people don't even know this exists back here. That's the thing about, if you live in Metro Detroit, there's so many different areas you guys can kind of cruise and, kind of check out, and not a lot of people know. Woodward's by far the most famous, but it's just like 4 lanes on each side highway for the most part. Where here, you can kind of cruise all over the place and see a lot of different things. There's a lot of places that a lot of people don't know about.
Did they make any 4-speed 300s?
No, they all came with the 3-speed 727 torque flight transmission. E58, and they all were 3 speeds as far as I know. I never heard of any 4-speed 300s. The interesting thing is this has a tilt. This has the optional tilt steering column. You can show the steering wheel. And here's a little history for you. Chrysler was always known as the innovative company, but the very funny part about this was, if you look at the original brochures, it shows a 3-spoke wheel, which they call the tough wheel. It had a circle center cap in the middle, and
Oh, there's parking.
yeah, we're not parking here. We're just driving through. Anyways, this church is absolutely gorgeous here. But anyways, what they so you could get the tough wheel standard. However, you wanted a tilt steering column, you got this really, basically a lot of Chryslers had this steering wheel. It's just like a triangle with as a center spoke. It's kind of a boring wheel. But the reason why it's a different wheel, why they didn't put the tough wheel in here, is because Chrysler never produced their own tilt steering column up until this point. They actually use GM tilt columns. That's why the steering wheels are different. So this is a GM steering column.
What mill does this have?
What?
What mill does this have?
What engine does this have? This has an E58, which is a 360 cubic inch, 5.9 liter V8. It's an LA. Well, basically, it's the LA series V8. It has a 4-barrel setup on it, and then it basically makes 195 horsepower. And you got to remember, this was at the top, the pinnacle of the fuel crisis, emissions, and all that stuff. So they really starved these engines big time. This actually had more horsepower than the Corvette did in 1979. We'll go through here. This is Cranbrook campus here.
Hey, it's the Art Academy's up here.
Yep. Just gotta watch these speed bumps. These
Oh.
are.
That thing got a Hemi.
I wish it had a Hemi. It'd be a lot more fun.
Oh my
But
god.
this car is fun. It's a nice boulevard cruiser. It's very smooth. I think if you guys actually drove one of these, you guys would kind of like understand, like, this car is not about horsepower by any means. It's just super comfortable to drive. Like, I can literally drive it with one finger. Like, absolutely one finger.
Oh.
And the thing is, the suspension too, it's actually lowered. We gotta like jack it up a little bit. It's actually too low.
How many miles do you have on your car?
On this one,
Yeah.
40 right now as we're sitting here, it has 46,700 or 46,079 miles, all original. It's never been rolled over. See, there's the art museum that way. See, we can go over that way.
This is a 300.
Yep. 1979 300. So, no, it's a great boulevard cruiser. It's not that bad on fuel. I don't know, I would say about 13, 14 miles a gallon. It's not that bad.
Yes.
Just gonna drive through campus real quick and then we'll go out. We'll turn around and go out Woodward. What's that?
Someone saying you need to drive it more.
We need to drive it more. We just got this thing. Considering, when did my dad find it? It was in.
I think about yeah, like
it was September, I think.
yeah, like 6
So we
months.
just really got this thing. Like really just got it. So we've put about, I don't know, probably 300 miles on it since we got it. I drove it the other day and it put 70 something miles on it. So went to a car show and put 70 miles on it. We just haven't had a lot of time.
I got a dinosaur.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. So this is the Cranbrook Institute of Science too.
Yeah, it's butter messing with you.
Oh yeah.
Butter dough insider.
Yeah. So
Alright, well,
no, there's just a lot of cool places around Woodward that a lot of people don't know about.
yeah.
Cranbrook's one of them.
Or just all over Michigan in general.
Yeah.
There's a lot you could miss.
If you guys know who Chris Jacobs is from Overhauling, he went to school here.
Really?
Yeah. He's a big Mopar guy. He follows a lot of stuff on our Mopar Insider stuff, and he
Give it some gas.
gives some gas. You're not going to be racing stoplight to stoplight in this thing. This is just a cruiser, man. It'd be different if it had like a 5.7 under the hood or something, but when you have a 5.9 that basically makes 195 horsepower, you're not going to be racing anybody. It's It's a super comfortable car to drive. Oh, the road's falling apart here. That ain't good.
Well, yeah, it's falling over all around Michigan.
Yeah, but this is a private drive. We can go up to like M1 Concourse and back. The M1's got a Cars and Coffee event right now going on with all these old classic cars. We won't be able to go in. I didn't get tickets for it. They started doing like a ticket thing where you have to basically sign up because they had so many people showing up to M1 Concourse that they wanted to keep the riffraff out. So now you have to actually buy tickets to go to Cars and Coffee, and I didn't buy them this week. There'll be a Mopar event later this year. We went to the Mopar event last year. That was the first event we actually took this car to. No, second event. I'm sorry, second event.
Make Chrysler Hemi again.
Yeah. No, so it's actually
Oh, hey, dog.
yeah. But this is it's just a nice private road to drive on. I actually love driving this Cranbrook. The funny thing is we're not far from CTC. Probably drive over there real quick too, but we'll drive up to we'll just take a little cruise out.
Hey, can it do a burnout?
Of course it can do a burnout. It's rear-wheel drive.
Okay.
You can put your foot on the. It's got disc brakes up front. It'll hold it. Well, it'll probably do like a one-wheel peel, but it won't do like a massive freaking smoke the tires burnout. Thing is, I'm not beating on this car. This car, you know, it's not to be beat on. It's a cruiser. People don't understand. Cruiser. You can make fun of me all you want. I don't care.
SAT testing. Just took that. Or PSAT.
PSATs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't taken the SATs yet.
I can't imagine it'll be fun.
Like, I love the campus out here. Hey, Butter, just to let you know, if you're looking at like this driveway when we come out, if you go, we're gonna be heading that way. But where the Dodge display is at the Woodward Dream Cruise is like right down the road here.
So it's better than the Charger Daytona EV.
Hey, don't say that, man. There might be something coming to this channel this next week or so. Just saying. You're gonna laugh at me, but you know what? I got a hell of a deal on one. So I haven't signed the paperwork yet, but it's the funny thing is like, so my cousin sells Chevrolets, okay? But their sister dealership is a Chrysler dealer. And the funny part about that is the fact that they've had one sitting on their lot for over 112 days. It's a 2025. It's fully loaded. It doesn't have the blacktop package.
It can't do a burnout, so free.
It doesn't what?
Butter. It can't do a burnout, so the 300's better.
Yeah, no doubt. But when I crunch the numbers and stuff, I have friends that work for Chrysler. I can get EP pricing and stack the incentives this month. The thing is you might think like everybody gets that EP pricing because they're advertising it. The problem is with that deal, you actually can't stack the incentives. So if you just go to look at a Charger Daytona, unless you're an actual employee, you can't stack the incentives. However, if you know a Chrysler employee, one time a year they actually get an EP number that they can give to anybody. So luckily I have quite a few friends that offered up numbers, so I can stack the incentives. So, and the only problem is like you look at those, like you've seen the $23 a month deal. Thing is, you got to go through all these freaking incentives. You got to be an active military vet. You got to be, first responder. You got to have, return leasing and all that stuff. Being a return leasing. So there's a lot of stuff that you have to have. I don't have all that. I'm not a returning leasing person. I've always bought my cars, but it's not a bad deal. I don't drive that much during the week, so but we're gonna keep the Durango around. I'm gonna keep the RT Durango. The wife's gonna have that, I think. And there's your Cybertruck that you like so much.
I guess the Tron car.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that. Let's do this. We're coming up to we're coming up here to the road that takes us to CTC. Oh, we gotta stop.
Oh.
Hey, dude, you gotta hold on. This isn't that's what the fun part about this thing, man. It's not completely safe.
Hey, it just flies out the window.
But no, we'll take a ride around CTC, see if we see anything. Because CTC is like right here. It's not that far. It's like a few miles up the road. Let's see here. They got the new update to fix the charger out now. Yep, I talked to Jordan Rose. He's a Mopar Tech. He's actually got a YouTube channel. It's actually really good. He reached out to me a long time ago, and I never really got a chance to talk to him, but I've been talking to him a lot lately, and he actually went in at midnight. Well, actually, he went in at 3 in the morning to his dealer, and he actually has a Charger Daytona himself. He's got a white one, and he did an update to the Wagoneer S and the Charger Daytona, an RT one that was there. And he basically said that, you know, basically it solves the 12-volt problems. They're still going to roll out other updates. They got a couple updates coming. There's some issues, like, again, there's some issues with, the seats, the power seats that fold forward. There's sometimes they're not doing it. Just stupid stuff. Just absolutely stupid stuff. And none of that had to do with, you know, Tavares cutting their software engineers, and they were rushed to do it. And then he had people from like India and Brazil and Morocco working on the software. So I've been talking to a bunch of people. They're all ticked off, like their STAR program, and Butter knows this, that they're working on trying to bring that back. I've seen his video that they're trying to bring that back to the U.S. A lot of dealers are upset. I talked to Jordan about that too, and he said that their tech, like when they need help with stuff, they're basically getting help from out of the country, and they can't understand the people that are trying to help them. So, but they got to do leaps and bounds. They got to do leaps and bounds to get freaking quality back up right now. And the funny thing is, this car was built in 1979 when Chrysler was going bankrupt. This is back when Lee Iacocca had to come save the company. This was like one of the last big cars that they built because, you know, they were trying to get rid of them to go to K cars. And honestly, this car is not the best quality car. If you look at the paint on this thing, this is all original paint. There's no Bondo that we could tell in this car at all. But you can look and see where you could tell it was like, hey, we're just going to spray paint this thing real quick. There was no paint booth. These guys just went down the lines. There's no robots to spray this thing. But that's most 70s cars.
Butter promised Jordan he wouldn't roast his Charger Daytona purchase. He's extending it to you. Oh, God. We just went over the tracks.
Yeah. I told you got to jack up the suspension a little bit in this thing. But, yeah. No, I think the Charger EV will be pretty fun. I've been debating on if I should wait for, a 6-pack. I would really like a 6-pack, but the problem is like the deals on the Daytonas are pretty good. I don't drive far, and it's 670 horsepower versus 550. And again, a lot of people are buying them for content and stuff. I don't think I don't want it for content. The whole thing was I actually enjoy driving the car. If they can fit, if this new update fixes the problems, I'll be fine with it. It's gonna. Tesla does the same thing. They roll their stuff out, and they always have like their actual customers be their beta testers. But we'll see. Hopefully they fix the issues in the car and it'll be fine. So I can't complain. I won't be able to complain until it breaks down on me or something. But yeah, we're not far from CTC. CTC's like a couple of, probably about 2 miles up the road here. So it's not that far from Woodward. We'll drive up and go through CTC real quick, and then we'll head back home. We'll actually go out towards M1 Concourse and then head back home. But this area here, where we're coming up to, you guys probably seen the viral video of a guy doing like a street takeover thing with a Challenger. And he ended up getting killed. He was doing donuts, and 2 people were racing and collided with him.
Wait, what do you mean by Skylines? Oh, wait.
What?
No, sorry, it's a different thing.
So anyways, this guy was up. He was up here at the next light down a little bit. He was at the actually next light to the left. He was driving a stolen Challenger from Ohio, doing donuts in the road, and 2 kids were drag racing something stupid like a Focus and something else, and they hit him doing about 80 while he was doing donuts in the middle of the road and killed him and injured a couple of the people. But the video went viral on the internet. That was like what, I want to say 2 years ago now. But it happened right here at this road.
Question by Eric Tate. Would you ever wake up that 360 Ci V8 engine a little bit, your 79 Chrysler for the other TP?
So here's the thing. We kind of want to keep it stock. But last weekend I went to a place, they actually have my dad found them via YouTube. I never even knew they existed. They're called Chase Classic Motors. If you go on YouTube, a whole bunch of videos that they've started. They got a whole series of videos that's actually really good. And they had a 300 with the T-tops just like ours, but it was not as good a shape. Well, they had an open house last weekend, and we took the car up there. They're going to actually fine-tune it. They're going to do some work on it. And I don't know if they're going to do a video of it or whatnot, but they're going to do some stuff to it. Probably tune the thermal quads are kind of tricky. So hopefully, maybe they're supposed to be doing it with about probably, I would say this summer. They only do it part-time, but they have a ton of Mopar projects and a couple of actual older GM projects right now. But they're a month out, so we won't have it like tuned anytime soon. But it runs fine now. The longer you drive this thing, the lean burst system computer kind of figures out your driving style and kind of weans the engine out a little bit better. When you start this thing up and you start driving it, it's a dog. And then once you get going, it's a little bit better.
It's their car.
Oh, it's this GSXR Suzuki Christmas.
There he goes.
So we're coming up to what used to be the Pontiac Silverdome where the Detroit Lions played. I actually shot video of it when they were trying to implode it and they screwed up, and that video went viral. It was actually it was kind of cool because a bunch of media sites picked it up over in Europe, but now it's an Amazon distribution center.
Shame they tore it down.
Huh?
It's a shame they tore it down.
Well, I mean, it was just sitting empty, but now it's an Amazon distribution center.
I mean, yeah, but still, it was pretty cool.
So the thing is that's where that Amazon distribution center is right there. That was the first location for the first roadkill nights. So they actually did it in the parking lot there, but now it's an Amazon facility. So basically, CTC is right up here around the corner. So if you're wondering Auburn Hills and the Tech Center and what goes on at Chrysler, it's right here. You can actually see the building when we turn the corner here. So maybe they'll be doing some prototype testing today. We don't know. I brought my small camera. I didn't bring my big lens. We'll just drive through the campus real quick, and I'll show you what's going on.
Do you know what the worst Mopar is at the moment?
What's that?
Do you know what the worst Mopar is at the moment?
At the moment?
Yeah.
Depends on your definition of worst Mopar. Worst selling Mopar? Worst one? The worst one...
Why don't we just go for all the categories?
The worst one right now, I would say the worst one what people think is the worst one is the Charger Daytona.
Someone just said Hornet.
Huh?
Someone with the Hornet.
Hornet?
Oh,
Hey,
careful.
We got horns. The horn wasn't working for a while. Now it's working again. I made a connection. I gotta take it. Dad and I have to take
the Jeep Wagoneer. I don't know.
Well, no. I would say the Hornet is for sure, and the Tenali. They've had tons of just tons of BS stuff with recalls and stuff. So right here to your left, right here, this is the Featherstone testing facility. This used to be the engineering. This used to be the SRT building here. It's no longer in use as an SRT building. They actually took the SRT off the building.
Man, I love this great shot of trees.
Well, whatever. But anyways, they only did. They basically had that building for sale, and now they're actively using it again, which is nice. When we come up over this bridge, you'll see the tower for CTC right here. There's the Chrysler Tech Center. So the Chrysler Tech Center, a lot of people don't know this, but before Elon's Cyber Texas or Giga Texas plant,
Oh, whoa.
We gotta sit back a little bit, man.
Yeah.
So anyways, before Elon's Giga Texas plant, the Chrysler Tech Center
Someone says they know you.
probably.
Nick Edits? My name ring a bell?
I have no idea. But anyways,
Okay. Or they know past you.
they drove past me?
No, I know past. They said, I just know past you. I don't know.
I don't know. So anyways,
Please elaborate.
this is a 5 million square foot building. And this, at the time, like a few years ago, was the second largest office space behind the Pentagon in the United States, if not the world. So, one sad thing is I've talked about the museum. We're going to actually turn to where the museum is.
Oh, he just passed us.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then he's not doing a good job because he's driving and watching videos. So, let's see here.
Oh yeah, also the guy that said the Jeep Wagoner said they
Wagoneer?
come in Wagoneer said they come in every day and they kind of suck.
Oh, there's a lot of problems with the Wagoneer, but the problem with the Wagoneer is a lot of it has to do with supplier stuff. It's not really Chrysler's fault. It's stupid supplier stuff. There is an issue going on with the 3-liter Hurricane engines that they're working out, but that's a software fix. It seems like their software is bugged.
Yeah.
So this
There's
right
that guy
here,
driving his car.
So hold on, this right here, we're gonna stop because no one's out here. Look at that right there. So that is the Chrysler Museum. Now technically it's the headquarters for Maserati North America, Alfa Romeo North America. However, they're not using it. Matter of fact, we can drive up there. Let's drive up there. They got the thing open. Let's drive up there.
Yeah, sure.
They had a gate blocking this for the longest time. So this is the Chrysler Museum.
Oh, look, the
What?
would that be the bronze buckle?
What are you talking about?
Sure.
Just stop.
See. There.
So anyways, this is the Chrysler Museum, the former Chrysler Museum. Now all the vehicles are over at Connor. But you can see, they don't even use this anymore. Alfa Romeo and Maserati aren't even in the building anymore. They haven't used this. Point towards the thing.
Right.
They haven't used this for, I don't know, probably a couple years, since at least COVID. And I would love to see them bring the museum back. Absolutely would love to see them bring the museum back. But who knows? The museum stuff's over at Connor, the old Viper plant now. They actually had a garage in Detroit, and they actually moved everything to Connor. So now everything's under one roof. But the thing is, it's not open to the public. This parking lot and stuff is actually quite popular because FCA, whenever they or I say FCA US, whenever they do like their employee car show, or they'll do car shows through the design studio, they have it here still.
Dang.
So it's not like this parking lot's ever not being used. They use it all the time for when they're testing stuff. They'll be sitting here doing their computer stuff, but the building's just sitting kind of empty. I've seen people come in and out of it, but there's nobody here doing actual work. And that's been for a while.
They need to make some pipes in there.
Yeah, Connor? Yeah, well, Connor's set up totally different now. So, so a lot of people don't know a lot about CTC. And over to your right at this light, you're going to see a track, and you're going to see a ton of prototypes over there. This is a validation track. It's almost like a B shape. You'll see when we get a lot of spy photos and stuff, it's because we get on the back side of the track and see stuff. If this, what the hell is this around?
That's
A squirrel? It's
yeah.
a big squirrel. Holy smokes.
That's a big fat squirrel. I haven't seen anything
anyways,
like that in our
see
house.
all the vehicles in the middle over there? Can you see it? See them
yeah.
all?
Yeah.
Those are all prototypes. Those are prototypes or test vehicles, anything that they're doing validations with. So you'll see some Ram Chargers and stuff. Right now I can see some 2026 Grand Cherokees out there. I see some 4-door Charger Daytonas. Tons of stuff. Lots of camouflage vehicles. If we go to the left up here, on the back side of the headquarters, this is the pilot plant. Now a lot of people say, oh, you know, they build prototypes and stuff at the assembly plants. They do not. They build them here at the pilot plant. There is a UAW outfit that actually builds prototypes here at CTC. But you can see down here, this is the test track. There's more cars sitting up here. There's a lot of Charger Daytonas sitting up here and Charger 6-pack cars sitting up here. I can see them through the fence.
That's a lot of cars.
But this campus is actually really cool. Back in the day, it's like the roads are falling apart because they cut costs completely. they are slowly fixing it up, but the roads are really falling apart. This used to be like super smooth, but they haven't. Tavares just cut costs on everything. But they have a basketball court, volleyball court, whole bunch of stuff for their employees to come out and use. They have a really cool nature walk path that has like bronze statues and stuff that, you know, kind of are like out in the woods. So, but this is considered an actual public road that runs through here because you can access the highway. But you can see like the road itself is kind of falling apart. There's holes everywhere.
Not, man, you're not road testing a Hellcat on that.
Well, hey, you know what? If they're going to road test a Hellcat, this is the road to test it because it's going to beat the hell out of their car. Look at, they're actually patching the road right now.
Oh, hey.
Because of how bad it is.
Look at it. The boys in yellow, orange.
Yeah, they're actually patching the road up right now because there's a massive hole on that side of the road. So look at right here. See, these are statues on the walking path. The walking path comes all the way around. But you can see this. Those are statues. They're iron statues that are out here.
But of who?
They're just random statues down there.
Okay, sorry.
But there's walking paths all the way around here. Now, to our left, up here, you'll see this big, pointy building. Right here, at your 10 o'clock down right here.
Yeah.
You see the big triangle-shaped building up there? That is the design dome. Where those trees are up there, the trees, that is the actual parking. Like, if you look and see where prototypes are, like, they take pictures of prototypes and stuff, there's a brick laid, like a, I don't know, it's like kind of like a patio that they take all the prototypes out and take pictures of them. But that pointy building part right there is the design dome, and then the design studios are right alongside of that. So each brand has its own design studio, so it has its own section. So like Chrysler has their own, Dodge, Ram, and Jeep, and then of course they have actually a corner of the design studio that does nothing but lighting. So I actually got to see it back in 2015 when I did a tour of the building, and it was really cool. The tower, the upstairs, the tower's not really used much anymore. They haven't used it in years. Sergio Marchioni said that nothing good ever happened out of there. So they basically quit using it. A lot of the CEOs and stuff are now on the floors with the engineers. But you can see this takes you back out to the highway. We're gonna go back around real quick. Here's the Stellantis sign that everybody sees.
I need to ask Tim if I can get in Connor. Want to be my +1?
Yeah, that would be awesome. I haven't been to Connor since it was a Viper plant. I went to Connor probably like 3 or 4 times. Butter, you're on my Facebook. Go and look at some of the pictures. The first time I ever went was like 2001. I think I was like 16 years old. It was amazing. I actually got to drive the Bob Lutz's. They let me pull it out and actually stalled it out, which was really embarrassing. So here, let me show.
Yeah, go ahead.
So anyways, there's the tower right there. And you can see they got a clever little thing that says there's only one, but it says Wagoneer S on it. So every few months they actually come out and they'll change that. For a while, it used to be like every 6 months they were changing, even every quarter for a while. But then as money got tight, they decided, hey, we're not going to do it as much. So like last year it was up for like almost a year and a half. This one's been up for, I would say probably about 7 months now. So, but there's parking garages all the way around the building. The building's massive. And the cool thing is if you have a Uconnect 5 system in your car and you're driving around here, this building's all in 3D when it comes up on a nav system, which is really cool. Let's see here. We might see some prototypes sitting up here.
Yeah.
Security is usually out quite a bit around here. So, up here on the right is a outpost building. This building used to be nothing but dealership stuff. So this was like the stuff, the part of the company that dealt with nothing but dealership. I don't know, just like dealership business issues. They used to have, for a while there, when they were changing the original stuff, when they actually, if you look at Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram dealerships now, they have like that archway with the squared off. The signs that were, the signs that they were actually doing like prototype testing was out in the. Oh, then turn it back on.
Right. Wait, no.
There you go. That's just
Sorry.
for us to hear. No, that's not the. But they actually had the actual signage out there in the parking lot, which was kind of cool. These are other lots. These are holding lots. So like you'll see some vehicles with camouflage. Like here's a bunch of Ram heavy duties that are, obviously they just launched the truck. So
Yeah, and
there's a couple
miscellaneous.
prototypes up there. You see there's a Mustang Mach-E over there. They're probably validating the test against. But these are all validation vehicles here.
And they all look the exact same.
There's a Ram that's camouflaged right there.
Oh.
So that right there is a camouflaged Ram Charger or Rev. It's all covered up.
They need to put a Viper on
Go
the
look over
building.
here.
Who's building a wagon
Look
here?
over here.
Buying. Wait.
Hold it over there so everybody can see the kind of cars that they have. So these are the lots over here, and they're really protected because people are actually breaking into cars on these lots and stealing them. So now security is here 24/7. And there looks like there's a Wagoneer S over there that's been smashed. It probably was doing some kind of testing. So there's a bunch of stuff over here. Look at all the cars that are over here. You know, they do testing all over the place. There's a bunch of Ram ProMaster EVs. On top of these parking garages, they're like full of cars that they buy from other automakers and stuff. Over here, there's a bunch of cars that they buy from other automakers and stuff that they actually hold and they test, you know, to do validation testing against. So we'll head back over towards like M1 Concourse and see, because M1 Concourse should be rolling out. We might see some really cool
What
cars.
part of the world is this? Michigan.
Yeah, this is Metro Detroit. This is Auburn Hills. We're at Chrysler's Tech Center right now. We're just driving through. We were on Woodward. Come on, pigeon, move. We were on Woodward, and we decided to come over here.
Have you always been a nerd, or did you become a nerd when you bought your 300?
Have I always been a nerd? What's it say?
It's Rick Raffus.
No, what's it say? I can't-
Have you always been a nerd, or did you become a nerd when you bought your 300?
I've been a nerd since I was 3 years old when it comes to Chrysler stuff.
He's got some cool sketches of cars, actually.
Yeah. I absolutely loved Chrysler since I was 3 years old, so I've been a diehard Chrysler fanatic since I was like 3. A lot of people have like their kind of vices that, you know, that they enjoy. I've always enjoyed like Chrysler Corporation history and stuff like that. I've absolutely loved knowing all I can about the company. But yeah, so we'll get to see the Featherstone facility a little bit better. You can see right here that they still have the Chrysler signs out in front of the tech center. All the signage going into the tech center still says Chrysler, not Stellantis, but Chrysler. And they're the original signs from the 90s.
Someone hates Jeep.
What's that?
Someone hates Jeep. Yeah, that's right.
I hate Jeep. Well, all right, whatever. It's your opinion. But this right here on your right, this building here, right here.
Yeah.
This used to be the SRT engineering building right here, on the right side.
Pick up on the right one.
This one right there that you're looking at, and then the other side was the Featherstone evaluation testing or engineering side. They took the Featherstone sign down because they were trying to sell this building, but you can still see they still have a bunch of trucks and stuff. Now they're actually doing work out of it, which is a big shocker. Because again, they were selling everything. There was rumors going around that they were going to sell, you know, basically CTC just a few months ago, and now Carlos is gone, and now they're full bore. Everybody's back to work, and you know, it's a lot different now.
I mean, we've been for over an hour.
What are you complaining about? What
No,
else?
I'm just saying. No, same
This
one.
is where they need to use. I mean, yeah. So there's a lot of history around here. A lot of people like, you know, I just find Chrysler Corporation's history fascinating. You know, I always liked the underdog story. I always liked the fact that, you know, they were up until the Daimler days, they were the company that was the innovative company that led the way with innovative stuff. Ever since Daimler took over and was the merger of equals, which it wasn't, the problem is they siphoned all the cash out of Chrysler, and then Chrysler basically became, instead of the innovative company that was setting trends, it basically became a company that was, following the lead. Like, if you look, great example, you look at the new mid-sized truck that's coming, right? Everybody's talking about this mid-sized truck that's coming. Well, everybody's got mid-sized trucks. Chevy, got out of mid-sized trucks with GMC for a while. Ford got out of mid-sized trucks. They're all back now with them. And by the time the new mid-sized truck comes out, they're already going to have new generations of trucks. We already seen just last week, Nissan showed off the next generation Frontier at the Shanghai Motor Show. Ford's already talking about they're going to build an all-electric Ranger.
They need a divorce from Stellantis.
I'm not saying it would be a bad thing, but I don't think the Angelic family is going to give up Jeep and all that. Thing is, I wouldn't be disappointed if Jeep stayed with them. Jeep was American Motors. Jeep was always it's a cool brand, but I would not mind seeing Chrysler and Dodge and Ram doing their own thing. There's a lot of heritage in Chrysler brands. Somebody who bought them could easily get the rights to Plymouth, bring Plymouth back. There's a whole bunch of stuff. So, but we'll basically shoot across South Boulevard and go to M1 Concourse and down to Woodward and go home. So, but it's nice to get out. The cars are actually driving a lot better. Because once it starts realizing what you're driving, how you're driving, it totally picks up and actually smooths out a lot.
Seems like a nice car to learn how to drive in.
You're not learning how to drive in this car.
Fair.
I would not let you drive this car.
That's probably the best, honestly.
What was the next comment say?
As many Mopar fans there are, you never know if you get the right amount of investors.
Well, I'll tell you something. When I was talking to Frank Rhodes,
Man, it's lagging really bad.
How is it lagging?
Oh, never mind. It can fix itself.
One of my good friends is Frank Rhodes Jr., who's the great grandson of Walter B. Chrysler, and Frank wrote this proposal to Chrysler. We broke the news on our website on Mopar Insiders, and it went viral. Everybody wanted Frank to buy the company. Frank didn't have the capital to buy the company. He's got money, but he doesn't have the money to buy Chrysler. The problem was he wanted to see how much they were gonna how much Chrysler and Dodge is worth, because they have not disclosed how much the brands are worth. They do Maserati, but not the rest of the brands. So the thing is, after Frank made the announcement that he was looking at purchasing the brands, tons of people, I'm talking tons of people, reached out to him and offering billions of dollars. Rich people like you would not believe, Saudis, a whole bunch of stuff. And it could be done. It could be done. But the problem is Stellantis was originally saying, because we heard that the Chinese was going to, BYD was looking at buying them. And, Frank does not want Chrysler to be in the hands of the Chinese. So basically, with them not even giving him the time of day to meet with investors, the actual board of managers, and talk to investors about it, they basically said the company's not for sale. So Frank got kind of what he wanted. He wanted to make sure that they weren't going to sell to the Chinese, but there was a ton of people that came out in support of him. Don't touch stuff. I know, but you're touching stuff. Just relax.
All right, talk about innovation. Dodge came up with the Daytona in '69. Now they are behind the 8 ball.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, they were the ones who came up with power steering, a whole bunch of stuff. Hydraulic brake fluid. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff that Chrysler came up with that a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah. Butter says, hey, the 300 is way more safe to learn to drive than a Charger Daytona EV from a speed point of view.
Yeah, but you know what?
It's expensive.
Well, not just that, but if he's going to crash out in style, he might as well crash out in a Charger Daytona, because, I mean, at that point, you're going to burst into flames somehow. Or get electrocuted, depending if he drives into a lake.
Hopefully quickly. Dodge needs to bring back the Dart the way it was originally. Not this front wheel drive stuff. Bring it back like it was in the 60s. A reasonable price, low cost. Rear wheel drive. Yeah.
Well, Dodge needs to do a lot of things. Dodge needs to just make cheaper cars in general. Their cars have gotten too expensive. So this building to your left, right up here, that has the 4 on it, this building right here is actually, it used to be a GM plant. But this is where they shot Batman versus Superman.
Really?
Yeah, you know the movie Batman versus Superman with Ben Affleck? This is where they shot it. This became an actual movie studio when Michigan started offering tax deductions. And then I talked about a little bit earlier about that Challenger doing donuts in the intersection getting hit. This is where that went viral. This is where this car got hit, right here at this intersection. So this is where that guy got killed doing street takeover stuff, because that stuff's stupid and whatnot. But we're almost back to Woodward. This is how close everything is here in Detroit. Everybody thinks Detroit's like way out and spread out. It's not really. I mean, it only takes a few seconds to get across town. So we're gonna do a loop. We're gonna do a Michigan left back at in front of M1 Concourse. A lot of people have been asking questions because M1 Concourse is right up here. A lot of people have been asking, you know, why don't they race on Woodward for in front of M1 Concourse? And I'll show you why. They actually changed the road around. Dominic, point it down a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
They actually changed the road around, and they made it so there's a turnaround now to get into M1 Concourse. And the problem with that is the fact that you don't have a straightaway anymore. It's on an angle. So the shutdown area of the track doesn't make a whole lot of sense anymore. They're going to have to figure something out. I did like the setup last year. I just think they could have done it better. They only had 18 hours to actually build the racetrack and get it, you know, set up, because the city of Pontiac actually closed their idea down about racing on Woodward. That was why they didn't race last year, and that's one of the reasons why Roadkill Nights didn't have a live stream. I think there was like me and another guy were the only ones actually broadcasting from M1 Concourse, any of the drag racing event stuff. So hopefully this year they'll fix it.
Yeah. Any pricing updates for the 6-pack HO coupe?
Nope, not yet. Dealers are able to order the cars. Butter, I gotta call you too. I found out some info.
No, it was Schwartz.
No, I'm talking about. I'm gonna tell Butter. I got Butter some info because he was asking me about stuff.
Okay.
I have some info for him. But this is M1 Concourse right here at the intersection. So this used to be where GM used to build buses, and now it's obviously a huge mecca car garage / racetrack / event hall, and does a whole bunch of other things. So this is the reason why they're not racing. This little turnaround right here is the reason why they are not racing on Woodward. They put this in. So you can see the road actually is now on an angle. Point the camera that way, Dominic.
Sorry.
You can see the road over a little bit.
Just barely. You can
see now, it used to be straight right through here. Now it's on an angle. So now it doesn't
like
make...
it dips a bit.
That's because you're on an angle yourself.
Sorry.
Anyways, the whole point is there's no shutdown area now that's like long enough straightaway. It's not a straight, it's curved. You can see right here how we're going. The road kind of zigzags. So, but we're gonna be doing some stuff from M1 Concourse here pretty soon. They got a whole bunch of different events coming up that they've invited me to. It's gonna be a lot of fun this summer. We got a whole bunch of stuff planned. Tomorrow, Dominic and I are gonna go up to Shelby Township, Michigan, to the Packard Proving Grounds. You might remember Packard Automotive, you know, like Packard cars and stuff. They still have the Proving Grounds, and it's basically they got rid of the track. The track's actually now a subdivision, but the original buildings and everything are there. And basically, we're going to go to an all Mopar car show / swap meet. So that will be a lot of fun. I'll be doing some live streaming and stuff from that too. So you guys will be able to see a lot of stuff tomorrow.
Butter should be able to bring his demon to Roadkill Nights.
That would be cool, man. That would be cool. Yeah, there's the week. So Roadkill Nights kind of kicks off Woodward Week now. The Woodward Dream Cruise, I'll tell you something. The Woodward Dream Cruise is not that fun. So right here to your left, that's where Dodge has their display during Woodward Dream Cruise at that church. But the thing is if you actually look at what goes on during Woodward, Roadkill Nights now kicks off Woodward Week. The best time to come is during the week because you can actually drive. On the day of the cruise, it's bumper to bumper traffic, and it's a pain in the. You don't really get to see a lot because you're too busy in traffic.
And then you get the back of the car in front of you.
Yeah, pretty much. But like Wednesday, Thursday nights are really fun. Wednesday is really cool because last year, the city that's at the very south end of the Dream Cruise, which is Ferndale, that's right on the border of Detroit. They have a emergency vehicle parade, and I actually took the kids. One of my friends has a old Ford brush truck, and we actually got to ride on it during the emergency vehicle parade, and that was a lot of fun. And then they have different events all the time. Ford usually blocks off 9 Mile down in Ferndale, and they have Mustang Alley. That's a huge thing for Mustang owners. Dodge used to do 13 in Woodward, but now that's a grocery store slash basically a strip mall. So they don't do their events there. They do them up here now. And then Chevrolet is at like Maple. They're all over the place. They got like the Chevy display. They're in downtown Birmingham. GM has a bunch of stuff everywhere. So, but there's tons and tons of stuff. If you ever love automotive stuff, come up for the Woodward Dream Cruise week. You have to make a week out of it because, again, it's one day is not enough time to actually spend and see everything, even if you just drive through. So, but there's a ton of stuff to do.
Someone earlier brought up something about.
You gotta talk louder.
All right. Someone earlier brought up something about Trump and the big free. I don't know what they were fully
tariffs?
saying because they didn't finish
About
it. But
tariffs?
yeah, someone named Kevin Freed. Hi, Kevin. Yeah.
So, yeah, Trump announced that he's going to make basically tariff credits for the big three automakers as long as they're a massive percentage built in the, like, with components and everything built in the USMCA. Nothing's been finalized just yet. The credits sound like they're going to give like a certain percentage to the automakers, and it's going to be like a big percentage, like a bigger percentage this year, smaller percentage next year, and then a smaller percentage for 2027. And then after 2027, they won't get any credits. So nothing's been really finalized on that yet. He's talked about it. Well, honestly, we don't know everything just yet. We are waiting for the White House to actually give us all the details because it just came out. It's kind of complex, and it just depends on what percentage of parts are built in the USMCA. So this is going to be mainly for vehicles that are produced here in the US. So like, again, the Charger Daytona and Charger and Chrysler or Pacifica might get a little bit of a tariff, but not or tariff credit, but not like the vehicles that will be built here, like the Ram 1500, the Jeep Grand Cherokee, Jeep Wagoneer, Grand Wagoneer, Wrangler, Gladiator, Durango, that kind of stuff. So now we're almost back to where we were at Cranbrook. So, but you can see Woodward, it's 4 lanes wide here in this part, and great cruising road. A lot different than what it used to be, but it's actually a fun road to actually come out. Again, 9:40 in the morning. Dominic and I just came out for a Cars and Coffee event. Bring the car out, go cruising a little bit, get it out of the garage. So it's cool that you guys can all join us. How many people are watching right now?
About 22. There was about 134 at its peak.
Oh yeah, that's cool. So here's Cranbrook, that area that we just went through.
Yeah.
So you can see everything's not far apart. It's not that far.
Yeah.
So, but what's that? Yeah, it is a small world. But
Hey, that's that cement cleaner we saw that.
cement mixer.
Yeah, my bad.
So, anyways,
Most loyal subscriber right here. Thanks, Butter.
what's that?
Most loyal subscriber.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, there's just a lot of stuff to do around Detroit. That's like the best thing if you're a car person. there's always car events during the summer. Even during the winter, there's car events. Thing is, nobody wants to bring their stuff out unless it's like just a weird beater kind of winter car. So today was supposed to be, they said it was supposed to be partly cloudy. It's overcast big time today, but it's, I don't know, it's probably like in the 50s. It's not that bad. Actually, temperature-wise, it's not bad at all. So, but yeah, Woodward's got a lot of stuff to do. Like you said, that Pasteiner shop that we went to, that's a cool hobby shop for automotive people. There's Vincetta Garage. There's the Hunter House, which is a hot dog hamburger stand that's right up here in Birmingham. That's very popular. There's a jewelry shop that's downtown Birmingham, this town that we're coming up to right now. Birmingham's one of the richest places in Michigan. They have High Octane Detroit, which is like all exotic cars like McLarens, Ferraris, Lamborghinis. They have that, I think, like once a month on a Sunday. That's like a huge event for downtown Birmingham. I mean, there's just stuff always going on. And then like the month of the Dream Cruise is just crazy around here. There's always something going on. Like my schedule is always packed on the weekends. I don't have any free time during the summer because of different car events covering it for Mopar Insiders. And a lot of people don't know, but I'm obsessed with offshore powerboat racing. I've been a huge, massive offshore powerboat racing fan since I was little. And I used to travel around the United States with my uncle, actually doing photography for the race teams. And
Don't you have a little channel for that?
well, I haven't done it for a long time. So real. So anyways, yeah, I follow offshore powerboat racing. So when they come to Michigan, I'm definitely at the races and stuff, and Indiana for sure. But I haven't been able to travel to go down to Florida and watch them race, or like New Jersey or anything for a while. What's that?
Butter says you have weird hobbies.
It's not weird, man. Offshore powerboat racing's fun as heck. Most dangerous motorsport too.
Yeah. Also, Schwartz was said, really hope they bring back a solid red, like Tour Red, as opposed to Red Eye for the new gen.
It might be. They showed off a whole palette of colors. So there's the Hunter House. That's one of the famous spots that you guys see all the time on line and stuff.
I love it there.
But we'll see. They had a color clinic out at Springfest out in California a couple weeks ago. There's a brown Cybertruck.
Oh. Don't see those every day.
With gold.
Probably both.
It's like a translucent color.
Yeah.
It looks gold and then brown.
Just wait till they put Sublime on one of those.
Yeah, and then look at here. This is what cracks me up. So there's a Fiat Alfa Romeo dealer, and there's their whole inventory, and you can see Saturday morning they don't have anything out.
I'm pretty sure they've had the exact same car, like the exact same cars there for at least over a year at this point, and I've driven past there at least a while.
They change up their showroom every once in a while. They had Fiat 500 sitting in the showroom not that long ago, but they don't sell a lot, obviously.
Yeah, I've seen the exact same like cars over and over again.
So like GM, they usually have stuff right here during the Dream Cruise. So, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do. If you like being around automotive stuff, Detroit's the place to go. There's always events going on. Downtown Detroit's getting really popular with different automotive events, different gatherings and stuff. And the cool thing is, it doesn't matter if you like JDM, Euro stuff, American Muscle, anything. There is a group of people that have those likes here.
Fiat and Alpha needs to be pulled from North America.
Oh,
completely.
Grant's here. Yes, yes, I totally 100,000% agree. So, you missed it, Grant. We went through the Chrysler Tech Center.
Yeah. Oh, look. I saw some sort of Jeep Gladiator with a rainbow on it.
Yeah, probably. So, anyways, no, yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. On the weekends, this place right up here, Woodward Camera,
Yeah.
We have a modern Mopar group, Detroit area modern Mopars, the DAM group. We hang out right here at this place.
The Bank of Ann Arbor?
No, next door to it.
Oh.
Woodward Camera. So that's kind of cool. But there's always stuff. Doesn't matter what you have vehicle-wise. There's always stuff going on here at Metro Detroit. So, stay tuned. I gotta post the video when I get home. It's done. It's already uploaded. I just gotta put a heading on it, and you're gonna
there's
see
the event.
Oh yeah, they got more cars there now. A couple 300ZXs.
Remove Alpha. Remove Alpha. Put Plymouth in its place. Problem solved.
I would love to see Plymouth come back.
I just saw a Plymouth not that long ago at the event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plymouth was Chrysler's mainstream brand.
I don't think there's a. Is there a
Entry-level
Plymouth
brand.
Valiant? I saw a Valiant on the side.
Yeah,
Okay.
That was a base model compact car back in the 60s.
It looks cool.
So, anyways, you guys, again, stay tuned. Tomorrow we're going to be at the Mopar Swap Meet, all Mopar Swap Meet and car show. We'll be broadcasting from there. And there's going to be 2 videos posted this weekend on the channel. There's going to be one for today, talking about a possible new vehicle that's coming out for Dodge. And then tomorrow we got some important news about the Charger. So, stay tuned. But I'll see you guys in the next stream, hopefully tomorrow. So have a good day, guys.
See ya.